welcome back to my channel. Hope you've all had a wonderful day. Welcome to Planet Lottie. I am Lottie, and if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun things to come. Today's video is obviously a bookish video. It is a Sunday. I was actually really struggling for a video idea for this, but I think I've come up with one. So the idea behind today's video is to show you all the Nicholas Sparks books that I own. So yeah, I own all of these. If you've not heard of Nicholas Sparks, he wrote The Notebook, he wrote Dear John, Nights in Rodanthe, The Best of Me. There's loads. I have seen a fair few of his films, well not his films, but film adaptations of his books, and I absolutely loved them. And then I went through a stage of every time I went to a charity shop or I went to a secondhand book fair, I would look out for one of his books. So I believe I have all of them, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm literally just going to go through, show you the books. I may read the back of them for you so that you can kind of look and see if there are any that interest you, but it depends on how long it might make this video. So I have actually only read one Nicholas Sparks book. It is this one here. I won't tell you what I thought of it, because that will be coming in my wrap-up video, which you may or may not have seen by the time this one goes up. Bear with, let me just move these back. Okay, right. It's not going to stand up how it did before. And I don't want it to fall on the cat. Okay, it's leaning. So yeah, I've collected them. They are all secondhand. I don't believe I bought any of these new. They're not matching editions, so they're not all from... Okay, I think they are all from Sphere, which is the publishing house, apart from one, maybe. But yeah, we're just going to get into it. I'm going to show you what I got. Here we go. This isn't a haul. I've just had them a really long time, and I thought some of you might like to see them. So the first one is Safe Haven. I have seen the film of this one, and I did really, really enjoy it. And I've read it, and I'm not going to give you a review. But it says, love hurts. There is nothing as painful as heartbreak, but in order to learn to love again, you must learn to trust again. When a mysterious young woman named Katie appears in the small town of Southport, her sudden arrival raises questions about her past. Beautiful, yet unassuming, Katie is determined to avoid forming personal ties until a series of events draws her into two reluctant relationships. Despite her reservations, Katie slowly begins to lower her guard, putting down roots in the close-knit community, but even as Katie starts to fall in love, she struggles with the dark secret that still haunts her. So yeah, this is the first one. I really recommend the films for all of these. I think they've been done really well. There are parts of this that I realise differ to the film, which always happens. But yeah, so this is one of the ones I've seen that is in film form. The next one, also a film I have seen, is A Walk to Remember. I don't believe though that, yeah, I don't recognise the people on the front cover of this as being in the film, but it says, can you resist the depths of a human heart? It's 1958 and 17-year-old Landon is revelling in his youth, dating girls and even claiming to have been in love. He is a world apart from shy, reclusive Jamie Sullivan, a Baptist daughter who carries a Bible with her schoolbooks, cares for her widowed father and volunteers at the orphanage. But fate will interfere. Forced to partner up at the school dance, Landon and Jamie embark on a journey of earth-shattering love and agonising loss far beyond their years. In the months that follow, Landon discovers the true strength of the heart and takes a decision so astonishing it will lead him irrevocably down the road to manhood. I remember that this film was incredible, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is the one I really, really enjoyed. But yeah, so there's that one. The next one is obviously The Notebook. I've only actually seen The Notebook film once, and obviously have never read the book. None of these ones from now I have read. But it says Noah Calhoun has, sorry, I've got an itchy nose. I think I've got cat hair up it. Noah Calhoun has just returned from World War II. Attempting to escape the ghosts of battle, he tries to concentrate on restoring an old plantation home to its former glory. And yet he is haunted by images of the beautiful girl he met there 14 years before. A girl who captured his heart like no other. But when these distant memories begin to slide into reality, the passion that had lain still is ignited once more. Through so much is in their way, the miraculous force of their love refuses to fade. It's got, who's it got in it? Rachel McAdams and this guy, what's his name? It's gone. I can't remember what his name is. I love Rachel McAdams. I think she's great. So yeah, that's that one. Next one is another film I have seen. This film actually has Zac Efron in it, which is probably one of the reasons I watched it. But it says, is there really such a thing as a good luck charm? Ex-soldier Logan Theobald thinks he might just have found one. Haunted by memories of the friends he lost in Iraq, Logan knows how fortunate he is to be home. He believes that a photograph he carried with him, a picture of a smiling woman he's never met, kept him safe, and he hopes she might hold the key to his destiny. Resolving to find her, Logan embarks on a journey of startling discovery. Beth, the woman whose picture he holds, is struggling with problems of her own. Her volatile ex-husband won't accept their relationship is over and threatens anyone who gets too close to her. And despite a growing attraction between them, Logan has kept one explosive secret from Beth: how he came across her photograph in the first place. It's a great film. I really, really enjoyed it. And I think I will probably love the book as well. So there's that one. Next up, and I believe these two are the last two that I've actually seen films of. So this one is The Best of Me. I have seen the film of this one, as I said, and I did really, really enjoy it. I'm trying to think who it's got in it. I feel like it's got Hilary Swank in it. I'm really bad with names. But this says they were teenage sweethearts from opposite sides of the tracks with a passion that would change their lives forever, but would force them apart. Years later, the lines between past and present are about to slip. Called back to their hometown for the funeral of the mentor who gave them shelter when they needed it most, they are faced with each other once again. Can true love ever rewrite the past? I don't think it does have Hilary Swank in it. Ignore that. The Best of Me is a new epic love story from the multi-million copy selling The Notebook and The Last Song. So yeah, there's that one. And then finally, Dear John, which does have Channing Tatum and Amanda Seyfried in it, and I do really enjoy that one. I believe it's on my shelf as a DVD. But this says, when John meets Savannah, he realises he's ready to make some changes. Always the angry rebel at school, he is enlisted in the army, not knowing what else to do with his life. Now he's ready to turn over a new leaf for the woman who's captured his heart. What neither realises is that the events of 9/11 will change everything. John feels compelled to re-enlist and fulfill his duty to his country, but the lovers are young and their separation is long. Can they survive the distance? Now, I'm pretty sure in the film they don't actually mention 9/11. I don't feel like they do. I know something happens. Thanks, motorbike. I know something happens and John has to re-enlist, but I'm pretty sure it's not 9/11. Yeah, so there's that one. So I have seen those book to film adaptations. Now, these ones I haven't seen. So the first one is A Bend in the Road. So this one is one of the only ones that I think isn't by Sphere. This is by Warner Books. And it says, Miles Ryan's life seems to end the day his wife was killed in a hit-and-run accident 2 years ago. As Deputy Sheriff of New Bern, North Carolina, he not only grieves for her and worries about their young son Jonah, but longs to bring the unknown driver to justice. Then Miles meets Sarah Andrews, Jonah's second-grade teacher, a young woman recovering from a difficult divorce. Sarah moved to New Bern hoping to start over. Tentatively, Miles and Sarah reach out to each other and soon they're falling in love. But what neither realises is they are also bound together by a shocking secret, one that will force them to re-examine everything they believe in, including their love. I don't believe this one is a film. I might be wrong. But yeah, I don't believe this one is a film. It's a really old copy of the book. I don't actually know what order they were written in. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's that one. Next up is The Choice. I have a lot of these similar style ones. Where is it? Like the Dear John one. The similar sort of look. I would have loved to have them all a matching set, but I'm not overly fussy. So this says, Travis Parker has everything a man could want. A good job, loyal friends, his dream home in small North Carolina. In full pursuit of the good life, he believes that a serious relationship with a woman would only cramp his style. That is until Gabby Holland moves next door. Despite Travis's attempts to be friendly, she seems to have a chip on her shoulder about him. But something compels Travis to get to know his new neighbour. His persistent efforts lead them both to make tough decisions, the consequences of which neither could have foreseen. So yeah, I'm not going to say that sounds really interesting, because obviously it sounds interesting, otherwise it wouldn't be on my shelf. But I am excited to get to all of these eventually. So this one is At First Sight. I'm not sure if this is, again, I don't know about this one being a film. I'm really not sure. But it says, Jeremy Marsh has always vowed he'd never do certain things. Leave New York City, give his heart away again after barely surviving one failed marriage, and most of all, become a parent. Now Jeremy is living in the tiny town of Boone Creek, North Carolina. Are we sensing a North Carolina theme? Married to Lexi Darnell, the love of his life, and anticipating the birth of their daughter. But just as his life seems to be settling into a blissful pattern, an unsettling and mysterious message reopens old wounds and sets off a chain of events that will forever change the course of this couple's young couple's marriage. So yeah, there's that one. Now this one I believe is a film, and I'm pretty sure it's got Kevin Costner in it. Again, don't hold me to that, probably 100% wrong. But yeah, it says, at 45, Adrienne Willis must rethink her entire life when her husband abandons her for a younger woman. Reeling with heartache and in search of respite, she flees to the small coastal town of Rodanthe, North Carolina, to tend a friend's inn for the weekend. But when a major storm starts moving in, it appears that Adrienne's perfect getaway will be ruined until a guest named Paul Flanner arrives. Paul has just sold his medical practice and comes to Rodanthe to escape his own shattered past. Now with the storm closing in, two wounded people will turn to each other for comfort, and in one weekend set in motion feelings that will resonate through the rest of their lives. I'm pretty sure this one is a film, and eventually I will have to get round to watching it. But yeah, there's that one. Next up is 3 Weeks with My Brother, Nicholas Sparks and Mika Sparks. So I believe this one is actually more of a real life. Yeah, I believe this one is more of a real life thing. And it says, by their early 30s, Nicholas Sparks and his brother Mika are the sole survivors of their family. So when a striking travel brochure filled with the most exotic places on earth lands on Nicholas's mat one morning, an adventure is decided upon. The two brothers embark on a 3-week trip around the world, a milestone in their lives and a celebration of their family. It is also a journey of thrills, moments of joy and awe-inspiring sights. They take us through the lost city of Machu Picchu, the deep Australian outback and the vibrant and vast Indian subcontinent, recalling their rambunctious childhoods and the tragedies that have shaped their lives and tested their faith. So yeah, this one is obviously a real life thing. I wasn't originally going to pick this up when I saw it, and then I realised it was like on a 3 for 2 thing, and I thought, you know what, I've got all his others, I'm sure this one will just be as interesting. So yeah, there's that. Next up is Nicholas Sparks 2x2. This one cost me 50p, the sticker's on there. But it says, sometimes the end is just the beginning. Russell Greene has it all. A loving family, a successful career and a beautiful house. But underneath his seemingly perfect world, cracks are beginning to appear, and no one is more surprised than Russ when the life he took for granted is turned upside down. Finding himself single-handedly caring for his young daughter while trying to launch his own business, the only thing Russ knows is that he must shelter his little girl from the consequences of these changes. As Russ embarks on this daunting and unexpected new chapter of his life, a chance encounter will challenge him to find happiness beyond anything he could have ever imagined. I believe this is actually the newest one that he has written. There is an order in the front of this book. I don't believe they have to be read in that order because they're all separate books, but obviously some people like to read them in the order they were written. I have already thrown that off by reading Safe Haven, which is one of the last ones he apparently wrote, if you look at this list. So yeah, there's that. Next up is The Guardian, and it says, widowed at a very young age, Julie Berenson knows only too well the joy and pain that love can bring. Uncertain as to whether she can ever commit to a relationship again, she finds herself swept off her feet by Richard Franklin, a sophisticated, handsome engineer. But what begins as a fairy tale romance quickly turns sour. Julie is soon fighting for her life in a nightmare spawned by a chilling deception and a jealousy so poisonous that it has become a murderous desire. Ooh, that one sounds interesting. There's a few of these I'm picking up and I'm like, oh, that sounds really interesting, and others where I'm like, it sounds good, but this one sounds better. So for example, The Notebook has never actually been a film or a story that I've actually really enjoyed. I've never obviously read the book, but I've seen the film once and I wasn't overly taken by it, so I'm hoping the book will change my mind. But next up we have Message in a Bottle, and it says, my darling Catherine, where are you? And why, I wonder, as I sit alone in a darkened house, have we been forced apart? When journalist Teresa Osborne finds this desperate message washed up upon a Cape Cod beach, it raises questions that intrigue her. Who is the author? A man called Garrett. And who is Catherine? And what is it that has torn them apart? Teresa, wary of romance since her husband shattered her trust, finds herself unaccountably drawn to these people and their secrets, and embarks on a search that brings her to an unexpected confrontation. There's that. Next up, this one's quite a chunker, along with 2x2. A lot of his are only about 300 pages, but these are chunky monkeys. They're about 400 odd, 500 odd pages. I don't know if this one's actually a film. That looks like a film cover to me. I might be wrong. Oh, The Choice. Have we read that one yet? The Choice is actually a motion picture. It says it on the back of this one. But it says that Colin Hancock is giving his second chance his best shot. At 28, he's focused on getting his teaching degree and avoiding all the places and people that proved so destructive in his past. The last thing he's looking for is a serious relationship, but when he crosses paths with Maria Sanchez one rain-swept night, his carefully structured life is turned upside down. Before the couple has a chance to envision a life together, menacing reminders from events in Maria's past start to surface. And as the threat of violence begins to shadow her every step, her and Colin will be pushed to breaking point. So yeah, I like the sound of that one. As I say, if you know of any of these that I haven't mentioned that are film adaptations, let me know, because I'd really like to check them out. I'm not worried about knowing the endings before I read the books, because I know a lot of the time the books can differ a lot to the films, so that's fine. If you know of any of these that are films, let me know. So the next up is The Wedding. Is Love Always Worth the Fight? And it does actually say it began with The Notebook, which I'm assuming was his first book then. It says, Wilson Lewis has always found it difficult to express his emotions. Now with his 13th wedding anniversary approaching, he confronts the fact that he and his wife Jane have grown apart, and he wonders if she even loves him anymore. As Ali and Noah's son-in-law, and with the memory of their 50-year love affair as his guide, Wilson knows he must find his way back into Jane's heart. He still adores her, but is his love enough for both of them? Oh, okay. So it's kind of linked to The Notebook, vaguely. Yeah, there's that one. The Last Song, which I know is a film adaptation. It's got Miley Cyrus on it, and I have no idea who that other person is. Nope, no idea. But it even says on the back, now a major motion picture starring Miley Cyrus. So it says, 17-year-old Veronica Ronnie Miller's life was turned upside down when her parents divorced and her father moved from New York to Wilmington, North Carolina. Since then, she has remained angry and alienated from her parents until her mother decides she should spend the summer with her father. Ronnie's father, a former concert pianist and teacher, is living a quiet life in the beach town, immersed in creating a work of art that will become the centerpiece of a local church. What unfolds is an unforgettable story about love, first love, and the love between parents and children that demonstrates the many ways that relationships can break our hearts and heal them. Actually, I think Nights in Rodanthe has someone else in it. Pretty sure it doesn't have who I thought. Don't take any kind of information from me about films to heart, because pretty sure I got it wrong. So yeah, there's that one. I'll have to see if any of these are on Netflix. If they are, then I will obviously give them a watch. Now, all of these next ones look to me a little bit like their film book covers, if that makes sense. So yeah, these are the last three. We're up to 20 minutes. Sorry guys. Hope you got yourself a snack. So the next one is The Longest Ride. 2 couples, 2 love stories, 1 epic tale. It says 91-year-old Ira Levinson is in trouble. Struggling to stay conscious after a car crash, an image of his adored and long dead wife Ruth appears, urging him to hang on. She lovingly recounts the joys and sorrows of their life together, how they met, the dark days of World War II and its unrelenting effect on their families. A few miles away, college student Sophia Danko's life is about to change when she meets the young, rugged Luke and is thrown into a world far removed from her privileged school life. Sophia sees a tantalising future for herself, but Luke is keeping a secret that could destroy it all. So that's that one. Next up is The Rescue. Again, could be a book cover. Someone help me out. It says, can you fight your way into love? A brush with tragedy pushes Denise to the brink. She is pulled back by dashing fisherman Taylor, but how far will he be prepared to go for her when it really counts? As Taylor helps Denise recover from the shock of her son's disappearance, their chemistry becomes undeniable. They're a perfect fit, but just as she lets herself relax, she realises it is too good to be true. Taylor simply cannot open his heart to her. As his conflicting desires throw Denise's emotions painfully awry, she begins to regret gambling the balance she had created with her son. Taylor has to decide, draw back or dive in. Can he open himself to Denise's love and give her the happiness they both so crave? So there's that one. And then we have True Believer. Yeah, I mean, these might not be book covers, like book film covers. I don't know. But it says, can the mysteries of the human heart ever be unravelled? Pursuing a scientific explanation for a disturbing and unexplained phenomenon, Jeremy's sceptical nature is thrown off course when he meets Lexi, the town librarian. Ooh, a book placed within a book. As they work together, ghostly occurrences and passionate moments converge, forcing Jeremy to realise that there are some truths science cannot explain, as he finally appreciates the pleasures of exploring the heart. So yeah, that's all the Nicholas Sparks books I have. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, I have 20. I'm not sure if I'm missing any. If I am, let me know in the comments down below. If you've read any of these, let me know what you thought without spoilers in the comment section down below. Yeah, as I said, I've only read one, and that was Safe Haven, and you will see my thoughts for that in my August wrap-up video. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing all the Nicholas Sparks books that I own. I am really excited to get to these. The Safe Haven one I read in a day, and it really pulled me out of the slump I was in. I am struggling with the current book I'm on, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, feelings, let me know what you're up to. Take care, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!